and welcome on in to the John Breslow Ice Center as we are getting set for a great afternoon matchup here between the Nebraska Cornhuskers and the SIU Cougars. I'm Ethan Macton alongside Colton Alder as we are getting set for a D3 club hockey matchup here. The Cougars coming in with their D2 team as well, as Omaha pulled out and they had a couple of switch arounds in the schedule. We had this game last night when I was on the call as well. The Cougars were able to pull out a 3-2 victory in a shootout. Colton, tell us more about that game last night.
Yeah, that game, Nebraska took an early 2-0 lead in the first period. Goals from Matthew Leslie and Bo Shanahan to take that 2-0 lead. But in the second period, SIU Edwardsville got back into it. They scored 2 goals to even up the score. Third period was scoreless, some good goaltending from both Liam Scott and Wyatt Gottschall for each of these two teams. OT was scoreless as well, went to a shootout, and SIU Edwardsville made their second shot. Nebraska didn't make any of their 3 shots, and the Cougars ended up leaving that game with the victory.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Wyatt Gottschall in net last night for the SIU Cougars. He will not be in net tonight, as it will be Dalton Fitzgerald getting the start for the Cougars. For the Huskers, it will be Liam Scott in net as well. And, you know, last night it went to a shootout. It was really Gottschall that showed up in the third period and the second period. After giving up 2 in the first, didn't allow a goal for the next 45 minutes of game time and was able to get the W there for the Huskers. Any other thoughts you have on this game today, Colton?
Yeah, looking at this game, Nebraska is going to have to navigate offensively without either Shane Rothenberger or Joey Cavedo. They were out last night, out again here today. And so Nebraska will look for some offense from unexpected sources. You saw it last night a little bit. Matthew Leslie and Bo Shanahan aren't the leading scorers of this team. They can definitely get some points on the board for you, but they haven't been relied on as the main goal scorers this year. They came up big in the first period, but the offense just couldn't get anything going after the first. They're going to need to put together a consistent effort offensively. If you get out to a lead, you can't take your foot off the gas pedal. You just have to keep on pushing. And looking at this game, we're about to get going.
Yeah, and we are just about ready to get underway here from the John Breslow Ice Center. We're gonna take a quick break for national anthem, and we'll have the starting lineups and puck drop when we get back. You're watching Husker Hockey on Nebraska News Service. And we are back here in the John Breslow Ice Hockey Center as we are just about set for an afternoon tip here on a beautiful Saturday in Lincoln, as it will be the Nebraska Cornhuskers versus the SIU Cougars. We will get your starting lineups to you here, starting with the visitors, the SIU Cougars. We are going to have Daniel Verhar, Ethan Cook, and Nathan Young as the forwards. The defenseman will be Connor Hinterser, as well as we will have Jack Dawley, and in net we will have Dalton Fitzgerald. For the Huskers, we're going to have Jeremy Cater, Joseph Studeman, Jack Betty, Bo Shanahan, Caleb Coe, and then Liam Scott in between the pipes for the Huskers, as we are underway here between the Huskers and the Cougars. Pucks in neutral zone, fought for and eventually won by Ethan Cook. He'll shoot it down into the corner where Scott will redirect it, and now it will be picked up by Verhar right in front of the net. He attempts a backhand, can't quite get it on as it goes off the back of the net. Huskers trying to get out the zone, unsuccessful, as the Cougars will dump it in deep once again. Now trying to come the other way are the Cornhuskers. Studeman looking for Betty. Now Betty working into the offensive zone, but just offside is going to be Jeremy Cater, and we will have our first whistle of the game as we will have a face-off here on the Pepsi Circle after the offsides.
Yeah, both of these offenses getting off to a pretty quick start. Looking at this Cougars starting lineup, the two guys who scored goals for them last night were Nathan Young and Ethan Cook, both of them in the starting lineup. Their top goal scorers all getting the start here tonight. Nebraska spreading it out a little bit more, giving them different looks as they've tried out different starting rotations all year.
And now dumping it deep is going to be Barrows. Trying to get it loose. It's Sabanski with it for the Huskers as he crosses into the offensive zone. That one will be picked up by the Cougars and intercepted by Clover. Clover looking for Sabanski. Sabanski working against three red sweaters. He couldn't get it loose, and it's cleared all the way down behind the Husker net, where it will be picked up by the Huskers' number 84, Blake Merchant. Merchant trying to get it loose. Ferguson keeps it in the offensive zone for the Cougars. Ty Ferguson trying to get something going here, and a great job by Christian Clover to get it in deep, and Sabanski will chase for the Huskers as the rest of them go off for a line change. That one's centered. It'll be picked up by Lejeune as he dumps it deep into the neutral zone. Now an icing potentially coming here, but no, it'll be picked up by the Cougars. They're working back the other way. It's the assistant captain, Ethan Cook, working around Kobe Butts of the Huskers. Cook all the way into the offensive zone now. Cook gets it poked away by Kajer Lucas, the enforcer for the Huskers. Now coming the other way is going to be Nebraska. They're looking for the puck down here on the near side of the boards. It's Schmelzer working it up to Butts. Butts now back to the center. Here comes the captain, Caleb Seibel. Seibel in his last home game here at the John Breslow Ice Center, and he gets absolutely dismantled by Jack Dawley, the defenseman for the Cougars. Now Del Sante trying to pick it up. That one goes all the way down and will be eventually be picked up by Matt Leslie. Leslie will dump it back off the backhand to Schmelzer. Schmelzer keeps it going to Butts. Now Butts looking for Seibel, can't quite make the connection, and Barrows will pick it up and dump it in deep for the Cougars. Now stop behind the net where Leslie will pick it up for the Huskers. He'll go to his defenseman partner, Zach Del Sante, who will work it back to Leslie. Leslie with the high saucer pass all the way down off the stick of Ty Ferguson. Butts giving chase for the Huskers. He can't quite make the play. Now that puck is held up. Huskers trying to get a change off as well as keep it in the offensive zone, eventually cleared by Hinterser. Now a couple of big hits along the far side boards. Puck still loose, and now it'll be cleared back into the attacking zone for the Huskers, and chasing is Caleb Coe. Coe ends up on his backside and will be picked up by the Cougars. Going the other way is SIU trying to find something. Scott thought about playing that. He'll stay in his net. Getting absolutely hammered for the Huskers was Jacob Paulson. The hit was going to be laid by number 7, Dominic Henning of the SIU Cougars, and that will be our first penalty of the night, as it will be headed to the box for the hit to the back of Jacob Paulson, and the first power play opportunity of the night for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Physicality has been a huge part of this game early on. It was a huge part of the game last night too. Prior to that, there was a hit along the boards. Couldn't tell which Husker hit him, but Miles Chavez of the Cougars went to the bench, was a little bit slow to get off the ice, and then the hit by Henning on Paulson on the other end, getting a penalty that goes in favor of the Huskers. They get a 2-minute power play. and a chance to strike first yet again here tonight.
Yeah, the Huskers went on the power play first last night as well. They were able to strike first with a Bo Shanahan power play goal that put them up 2-0 at the time. It was the last goal they were able to get in that matchup last night. Now off the face-off, we'll have a quick whistle and a redrop here by our referee. Steven Adamski in as the centerman for the Huskers here. He'll try to win it. It's tied up in the middle. Verhar coming in, trying to get it loose. Eventually, it's picked up by Leslie at the point. Leslie dumps it around the half wall, and it's Sabanski giving chase for the Huskers. Sabanski will work it back to the point. Cater to Leslie. Leslie now looking back across. It'll be picked up. It's Juwan Kim down to Sabanski. Now Kim to Leslie. Leslie will take a shot. Can't quite find the target. Right back, though, Leslie. This time it's gloved by the goaltender, Dalton Fitzgerald, for the SIU Cougars.
Yeah, and that's Leslie with a slap shot towards the blue line. He's got a chance to get that in the net, but just with high velocity, a good save by Fitzgerald out in net.
Yeah, we've really seen Matt Leslie come along after winter break. In his 8 games, he's got 5 goals and 3 assists, averaging a point a game. And now this one straight off the faceoff. The shot comes from the defenseman, Caleb Coe, and barely getting a piece of it was Dalton Fitzgerald, but we'll immediately go back to a faceoff as that one ended up in the netting. It's Schmelzer in there for the Huskers. So that puck will not be dropped. Going a little early. Now Paulson working back. Here comes the redrop. Schmelzer will be kicked out of there as he jumped a couple of times, and in will come Caleb Seibel for the Huskers. And puck will finally be dropped and dumped deep into the corner. Now trying to work it all the way around, but it will be picked up at the point by Caleb Coe. Coe back across to his defense partner, Kobe Butts. Butts looking for Seibel, couldn't quite complete the connection tape to tape. Seibel now trying to get it back to the point. Off a couple of sticks, eventually it will get out to Coe. Coe immediately back down to Seibel. Now under the net is going to be Schmelzer. Schmelzer looking to get the offense going. Centers the puck, but no one home for the Huskers. Seibel looking to shoot. That one goes just wide of the blocker of the SIU Cougars. Now going the other way is going to be Schmelzer. Schmelzer working from a low angle, couldn't quite find it. And now a quick clear will come here for the Cougars. It was Ty Ferguson dumping in deep. Scott will retrieve it, and Butts will be behind his own net with about a minute left to go on the power play here. Kobe Butts now working through the neutral zone, going all the way in on the zone entry. It's picked up by Dolly. Dolly will try to clear it. Coe trying to get in the way, but he can't. And now giving chase is Daniel Verhar. Scott playing it. He'll dump it all the way in deep. Sabanski can't quite get it. Schmelzer does, though. Great defensive play there from Ethan Cook to depossess Schmelzer. He had a chance to go in deep. Now that one picked up at the point by Leslie. Leslie looking for Sabanski. And now Schmelzer will have it behind the Cougars' net. He'll center it, but no Huskers home. And eventually will be dumped all the way down once again by Cook. Under 30 to go now in the power play here for the Huskers. Christian Clover's got it as they're looking for one last attack on the power play with 20 seconds to go. There's Verhar losing an edge, and a whistle is going to be blown. It will be Steven Adamski heading to the penalty box, and that is a costly penalty for the Huskers as it will now be 4-on-4 for the next 20 seconds and a minute and 40 after that of a power play for the Cougars.
Yeah, him and Verhar just colliding around center ice right there, and that's a penalty you just can't afford to have for the Huskers. That puts this to even strength for the next 20 seconds, as you mentioned, power play for another minute 40 after that. Just a really costly penalty. Some great defense by the Cougars to keep the Huskers scoreless throughout this power play as well.
And now it's Jack Dolly of the Cougars fighting in 4-on-4 hockey. He'll skate all the way through the zone. Now he's at the top. He'll snap a wrister. Redirect by Cook. A great save there from Liam Scott. Now Ethan Cook working in. He's depossessed by Clover. Del Sante picks it up, and Clover will bat it out of the defensive zone. Coming out of the box, and the Cougars will now be on the power play for the next minute and 40. Verhar dumps it back across. Here comes the zone entry. It's a clean one for Nathan Young. Nathan Young surveying his options. He'll dump it down below the goal line to Dolly. Dolly back to Young. Young looking at the goal. Eventually he'll reassess his options. He'll go back across. A great opportunity there for Lejeune. Couldn't quite complete the pass, though. Del Sante laying his body on the line. Now Dolly at the point. Pressure by Sabanski. He keeps possession, though. Dolly will now circle back and send it to the top to Young. Young shooting in off a skate, and eventually it was slowed down enough for Liam Scott to cover it up and force a face-off with exactly 1 minute to go on this power play.
A pair of great saves by Liam Scott right there. The first one was on that play close to the net. Cook got a shot very close to the net, but Scott able to get around on it quickly enough to save it, and then that one deflected off a skate. Could have trickled into the net, but Scott able to stay attentive and make that play. Pair of really solid saves for him.
And now the face-off down low. Eventually Verhar comes away with it. A stick goes absolutely flying from Schmelzer. And now that one goes into the corner. Schmelzer will pick his stick back up. Verhar trying to keep it in the zone. He can't. He'll have to head back to the opposite blue line to retrieve it. And Cougars will reset. Dolly to Verhar. Verhar working in here for the Cougars. He tries to dump back to Hinterser. Can't quite make the connection. Young will pick it up now. Dolly getting pressure by Schmelzer. He'll circle back. Shot from the top. Redirect, and it's Hinterser that'll send it in. Went off the backboards, and Hinterser tracked the bouncing puck and put it in. He ends up tripping over the referee on his way to the bench. It's 1-0 Cougars.
And that's an unfortunate break for Nebraska, but a great play by Hinterser. That's not easy to get your stick around on that and just hit that while it's in the air, but he's able to make a really solid play. Good attentiveness to be able to track it off of the boards, and as a result, the Cougars strike first in this one.
Yeah, Hinterser tracking that bouncing puck off the board, swatting at it like a baseball swing and making contact, getting it past Liam Scott for the first goal of the night on that power play. So now both teams are back at even strength, and it's Studeman and Cater trying to work the puck out, and eventually they get a little more space, but they can't get it loose as Lejeune adds pressure. Now Lucas will work it back across, looking for his defense partner, Devin Cass. Or excuse me, that's not Cass. Or it is Cass. Anyways, puck ends up down here. It'll be picked up by Ty Ferguson at the point. He keeps it in. The Huskers really struggling to clear the defensive zone right now as Betty picks it up trying to get it loose. Puck not clear yet, and eventually it goes through, and Lyles and the rest of the Cougars will head off for a quick change. Puck is all the way back down in the defensive zone now here for the Huskers. They try to clear once again. It's Devin Cass dumping it in, looking for the stick of Betty, and he didn't quite find it, so he'll go all the way through for an icing, and the Huskers won't be able to get the change off. So tired legs on the ice right now for the Huskers. Got the forwards off, but Cass and Lucas, the defensemen, were out there for that whole entire possession in the defensive zone.
Yeah, and that's a spot where you're almost willing to take the icing just because of how much pressure the Cougars were putting on you. Just get a chance to take a quick rest after all that pressure, and now they'll look to reset and get it out of their defensive zone for good this time.
And this face-off won and immediately slapped in by Hinterser, but the chest save made by Liam Scott. Hinterser was looking for his second of the night. He came in to this game with 0 points on the season, just picked up his first goal and only his 4th game of the season. Now it will be Jacob Paulson in the face-off circle for the Huskers. It's won, though, by the Cougars. Dolly will shoot it in. Young, his own teammate, couldn't quite get out of the way on the screen attempt, and the puck didn't make it all the way through, but Young picks it back up. Looking for Dolly, couldn't quite complete the pass as Leslie closed in on him fast. Paulson will get it up to Juwan Kim. Kim looking to work the puck into the offensive zone. He's got Josh Lazari chasing. Lazari will be the first to the puck in the corner. He will immediately be met by a red sweater. Del Sante now has it at the point. He'll try to shoot it in. That one's wide. Bounces off the half wall and picked up by Kim. Kim works it back, looking for Lazari. A little bit of miscommunication there, and Dolly picks it up. Leslie, a great stick to keep it in the offensive zone. Now Jawan Kim back down to Lazari below the goal. Lazari looking to set something up. Getting pressure by Dolly. He'll get it across to Kim. Back to Lazari. Now back to Jawan Kim. Kim can't quite keep possession of the puck. It's loose and eventually picked up by Cook. Going the other way are the Cougars. Ethan Cook working into the zone entry. He'll shoot it in. That one will be gloved down and sent out for the Huskers. Trying to break out the other way is Matt Leslie. Leslie slams on the brakes and fires it across to Del Sante as Leslie heads off to the bench. Del Sante working all in by himself. He'll now try to dump back for Clover. Clover gets tangled up and he falls over looking for a penalty. He won't have any. Now it's Shanahan trying to get it in. He can't quite complete the pass. And eventually it will be picked up by the Cougars, and they'll send it back down. Huskers got possession again now. Bo Shanahan up to Clover. Clover going to dump it in deep into the corner, and Sabanski will give chase for the Huskers. That one sent around by Rhines. Now it's held up by a couple of different players. Great job to keep it in the zone for now by Shanahan, but eventually clearing it are the Cougars to Dominic Henning. Henning tried to send it in deep, couldn't quite get enough power on it. Now he'll get another shot. Henning gets absolutely destroyed by Steven Adamski, and the puck's still alive. Henning having a tough time getting up, and there will be the whistle and a penalty coming here for the Huskers. Steven Adamski will head into the box for that hit, and another power play coming up for SIUE, their second of the afternoon.
Yeah, Adamski coming over the middle lays a big hit on Henning, but he might have got him a little bit high right there. Henning was a little bit slow to get up, but he's back up now, and that's good to see. But for Nebraska, that puts you in a dangerous position where this Cougar team already got a goal off a power play, a chance for another one here before the halfway mark of the first period. Need to get a stop right here defensively.
And now that one from the point slapped in wide. Seibel, the captain of the Huskers, looking to get it. He can't quite find the puck, and it will be possessed by Cook to Dolly to Young. Young now looking for something here. Young will shoot it, goes off a stick in front, deflects up. Eventually, Coe came up with it. He tried to clear it all the way around. He couldn't complete that. Now a couple of players fall down in front of the net. This one's sent all the way through. Nathan Young trying to keep it in the zone, but a great job clearing down there by the Huskers. And Shanahan will come off for a quick change with over a minute 20 to go on this power play. Huskers weren't able to kill the first one, looking to kill this one. Coming in is going to be Ethan Cook. Cook working all the way through the Husker defense, and now he'll head up to the point with possession. He'll look for Young. Young getting pressure by Seibel. He can't quite complete the point-to-point pass, and it will head all the way out of the zone. The Huskers will head back off for a change, as it will be Jack Dolly working behind his own net before he gets a head of steam coming through the neutral zone, looking for Ferguson coming in. Couldn't quite find him. Hinterser back to Dolly. Dolly's got Lejeune. He'll keep it himself. Dolly all the way in. Now he'll slam on the brakes and wrap back up towards the point before he dumps it into the corner. Verhar now below the goal for the Cougars. That one's going to be picked up by Barrows. Barrows to Dolly. Dolly loses a defender there. He dumps it back the other way for his defense partner, Rhines. Rhines sends it in. That one looked good in front of the net. Couldn't quite find it. Now Dolly fakes a shot from the top of the point. He'll dump it all the way back down below the net. Picked up by Lejeune. Lejeune back to Dolly. Dolly will fire this one. It goes just high off a couple of sticks, and that one sent down and picked up once again by Lejeune. He'll work across. Now flying in. A great shot there for Rhines, and a nice save from Liam Scott. A lot of pressure on this power play as the penalty just expires. That one sent in. Now Lejeune will pick it up. Adamski will come in to try to help the Huskers defensively here. Adamski breaks it up, and he'll lay a hit down low on Lejeune. The puck will be picked up by Verhar, though. Daniel Verhar shoots it in just wide. Now the pressure will be kept on by Rhines. Rhines off the back wall, and eventually putting the pad down and getting the glove on it is Liam Scott to finally force a stoppage and get a change for the Huskers.
Some strong defense by Nebraska defensively on the power play. Couple of shots for this Cougar team that could have gone in, but this defense not allowing them to get anything good. And then Scott just covering the puck up to close it out. Really solid effort to just not allow this Cougar team to add onto this lead.
And now loose puck right in front, and Liam Scott a great save as it was Ethan Cook eventually coming away and getting a stick on it. Backhand right onto the chest of Liam Scott, but he does a great job getting his body in front of that one. That faceoff wasn't quite won cleanly, and the loose puck just kind of trickled all the way down until it was right in front of the net. Now once again a tie-up on the faceoff. This time it heads back towards the Cougars' goal, and now ahead behind the Huskers' net. A great centering pass and an opportunity there for number 25, Christian Lyles. He couldn't quite complete it, though. Now that one sent all the way in, and it will be gloved by Liam Scott, and we'll have another offensive zone faceoff here for the SIUE Cougars.
Some really solid play out in net from Scott yet again here tonight. Allowed just 2 goals in the game yesterday, but he's made some really solid plays after giving up that first goal here today. Playing very well in this 2-game set.
Now the Huskers win the faceoff. Trying to get it out is Leslie, and that one actually ends up all the way in the boards, or in the netting, excuse me. So it will be a faceoff right back in the same spot. This is the 4th faceoff in a row to the left of Liam Scott. This one won cleanly by the Cougars. Hinterser dumps it all the way in behind the net once again. Lyles down there fighting against Del Sante. Studeman in there for the Huskers as well. Eventually coming away with it is going to be Chavez. Chavez to the point for Hinterser. Hinterser couldn't quite get it clear. And now working all the way the other way is Jack Betty of the Huskers. Betty will dump it in deep into the Husker offensive zone, and Leslie will give chase. Leslie and Hinterser get tied up, and there will be a penalty coming here on Leslie. Delayed penalty as the Cougars have possession. It's Lyles, and Lyles gets hit at the end of that one as well. But the penalty will come here for Matt Leslie, and the 3rd penalty for the Huskers tonight. Leslie did not like that call.
Yeah, Leslie not happy with the call. Nebraska already with their 3rd penalty of the game, and if you're having this Cougar team on the power play for as much as they have been on it thus far, that's not a sustainable strategy for holding this team down offensively. And this Husker team is going to need to play more disciplined as this game goes along. You can't afford to keep giving them power play opportunities.
Yeah, Huskers currently trailing 1-0. Another chance on the power play here for the Cougars. They scored on the first, not their last. That one shot, absolute hammer from Jack Dolly, but a great pad saved by Liam Scott to keep the score at 1-0. And the power play will continue here for the Cougars. It'll be Cook in as the centerman. He's fighting for the face-off there. Gets tied up and eventually comes away with it. Cook back to Young. Young to Dolly. Dolly lays down the hammer once again. Couldn't get it through, and now a shot all the way from the other end. Save there made by Fitzgerald. He hasn't had a lot of action in front of him in this first period, but way to stay awake there. Now Dolly circling in his own zone, looking for an option. He'll find Cook. Cook across to Young. Now Nathan Young working in. He works around Schmelzer, and now back towards the center of the ice. Young will dump it to Dolly. Dolly going down for his man Cook. Cook, a great pass across and a great opportunity there. Cougars couldn't quite come away with it. Dolly will shoot that one, couldn't get through the traffic. Eventually picked up by Cook, looking for Young, and Young just can't quite get that pass corralled, as it was a great opportunity there for the Cougars, but the Huskers find a way. And now Young is down in a heap as he took a big hit from Caleb Coe, and the whistle will come as Young is grabbing at his left ankle down right in front of us. Coe laid a hit on him right at the point, and now his teammates will come and check on him as Nathan Young, the leading goal scorer for the Cougars. This could be a big loss. We're going to head to a quick break as you're watching Husker Hockey on Nebraska News Service. And we're back here in the John Breslow Ice Center as we just had a quick injury break for Nathan Young. He was able to make it out on into the locker room with a couple of help from some of his teammates. Presumably won't be back in this one. Tough look there for the Cougars as he was their leading goal scorer heading into this series with 8. He had one last night as well, but the game will go on as it will be a power play still for the Cougars, looking for their 5th guy off the bench without Nathan Young, and coming on will be Connor Hinterster. Cougars not exactly heavy-handed coming into this series as well on the road. You see that a lot in the club hockey. Don't quite bring everybody to the road trip, so a big loss there as these legs could get pretty tired come third period. They deal with a 1-0 lead. Now back to the action is Cook working it to Dolly. Dolly at the point now for the Cougars. He works it back down to Cook. Cook looking across for Lejeune, couldn't quite find him. And Lucas will put some pressure on him. Now Cook trying to center it once again. Schmelzer tries to get it clear, and it bounces over the stick of Dolly. Schmelzer giving chase. Dolly will just dump it off the glass, and it will be picked up eventually by Ethan Cook. Cook will work it back into his defensive zone before he drops off a pass to Connor Hinterster. Or excuse me, that's Rhines. Rhines will dump it in deep. Will be picked up by the Huskers and cleared once again with 7 seconds to go on the power play. Seems the Huskers have killed back-to-back power plays now, as working it behind his net is Dolly. Dolly dumping in, looking for Hinterster at the blue line. Couldn't quite make the connection. Now Hinterster will give chase. That one's dumped through by Merchant. Merchant gave it ahead, and now Clover's got it for the Huskers. Clover will shoot it all the way in, and it'll eventually be picked up by the glove of Fitzgerald. Now a little bit of a scrum behind the net. A couple of guys just wanted to say hello.
That was Hinterster and Leslie who got tangled up right there. Appeared to just be part of the play. And Leslie just came out of the penalty box, and then he gets tangled up there. Was a little bit chippy last night. We saw these two teams go at it a little bit, and a little bit of that here in the first already.
Yeah, and you definitely tend to see that in the second game of these weekend series at the club hockey level. The second game tends to be pretty chippy as these teams get to know each other. Now Clover and Sabansky working in for the Huskers. That one's eventually cleared up to the point where Leslie will pick it up. Now dumped in by Clover, a couple of hacks at it, but the save is going to be made by Dalton Fitzgerald. Sabansky had a chance in front of the net, but Dalton Fitzgerald closed the door to keep the lead 1-0 for the Cougars.
Fitzgerald hasn't seen a lot of action thus far today, but when he has seen action, he has been able to stay attentive out there and make some plays. Good save right there with the puck in front of the net. Really solid effort for him.
Adamski wins that faceoff back to Shanahan. Shanahan will fire it in. Good save there from Fitzgerald once again. Now Frank Rhines trying to dump it all the way through, and Verhar will give chase for the Cougars. Verhar and Coe come together as that one's tied up along the boards, but it will be worked free to Shanahan. Shanahan gets it back across to Coe. Coe can't quite get it through Verhar. Verhar loses his stick, though. He'll have to go back and retrieve that. Clover trying to get it loose. That one ends up in the center of the ice, but it's picked up by Coe. Coe looking for Clover. Can't quite make the connection. And now Coe at the red line. He'll dump it down, and the Huskers will get off for a quick change. SIUE trying to get into the offensive zone with Ethan Cook. He's chasing that puck all the way down to the corner. He slams on the brakes looking for options in front. Can't quite complete the pass. He was looking for Dominic Henning. Now picking it up for the Huskers is Coe. Coe trying to start the offense, looking for Seibel. Eventually, Seibel's able to fight for the puck and come away with it as he dumps it back to the neutral zone where we picked up by Connor Hinterster. That one sent all the way down to the corner. Shanahan to Butts. Now up to Cass, and Shanahan again picks it up. Shanahan dumps it all the way through, and he'll head off for a change. Lucas on the ice now for the Huskers. Coming into this game with over 60 penalty minutes, he'll go ahead and lay a hit against the boards. Cougars trying to center that one. No one there in a red jersey, only the Huskers in the white. Now Seibel has it. He's spinning, working against Hinterser. He loses the puck and eventually is picked up, going the other way. And the Cougars trying to get the offense going. Collision in front. And now Seibel has it behind the net for the Skurs. He's looking for Schmelzer, can't quite complete the pass. Dolly will pick it up. He's taken a lot of shots so far tonight as he dumps that one in deep. And it heads behind the net once again. Cager Lucas will dump that over to his defenseman as that pass cannot be completed. A great chance in front for Cook, and he can't quite complete it. As now Jawan Kim has against the boards. He gets hit in the back, and that will be a penalty coming for the SIUE Cougars. And it looks like that will be number 15, Ryan Lejeune, heading to the box in a power play for the Huskers, trying to get their first goal of the night.
Yeah, and that was clear right away. The officials picked up on it immediately. A big hit by Lejeune alongside the boards, but it was not legal. Was Kim able to draw that penalty in Nebraska? Chance to get on the scoreboard with a power play goal before the end of the first.
Adamski in there for this power play unit. Once again, he gives it over to Leslie. Leslie works it across to Shanahan. Now Leslie will get it back at the top. Shanahan working down in the face-off circle. He'll send that one towards the net, goes off the side. Eventually be picked back up by Shanahan. Shanahan will shoot again, and the save is made by Dalton Fitzgerald. Just got enough of that one to keep it out of the net. Now another face-off coming here as both guys went premature. We'll have a redrop. This time it is dropped. That puck ends up in the air. Still fighting for it. Leslie does a great job to keep that one from clearing the zone. Now it'll be Clover shooting it in. A deflection opportunity. Rebound change. Shanahan can't get it to go. Clover in the corner now for the Huskers. He gives it away to Leslie. Leslie at the blue line looking. He'll shoot one in. That one off a couple of bodies in front. Puck comes loose to Clover. Clover fakes the shot. He'll reset to Leslie. Leslie will shoot that one in. Puck still loose, but it gets clear behind the net. Shanahan trying to keep it in the zone. He can't, and Leslie will have to retrieve it in the neutral zone. He'll go up to Clover. Clover trying to find Sabanski in the center of the ice. Can't quite make the connection. That puck all the way down in the corner. Eventually, Del Sante keeps it in the offensive zone for the Huskers. He'll try to center it. That one batted back out towards the corner. Will Del Sante will come away with it. Now Adamski at the point looking for Leslie. Leslie all the way down to Del Sante. Del Sante will rip, and that one will be covered up by Dalton Fitzgerald with 40 seconds to go on the Ryan Lejeune power play.
Yeah, some solid defense here from the Cougars. Some solid play in net as well by Fitzgerald. The Huskers just not getting a chance to take advantage of those opportunities they've been given due to Fitzgerald playing well and also this defense just not giving up a whole lot of shots. Really solid defensively for the Cougars thus far.
Del Sante will shoot it in. That one goes off a stick. And it will be picked up eventually by Coe. Coe to Schmelzer. Now back across to Coe. Coe, a great opportunity there, and getting his body in the way was Connor Hinterser, the defenseman for the Cougars. Now this one sent around a couple more times by the Huskers trying to find the right shot. Shot from the angle, can't quite find it. Del Sante will come away with the puck though. Del Sante shoots that one. Rebound, great save there from Dalton Fitzgerald. Now behind the net is Schmelzer. 4 seconds left to go on the power play. Schmelzer will shoot, and it will be gloved by Fitzgerald as that power play expires. So a couple of great opportunities. Lots of offensive zone time there for the Huskers, but they can't come away with a goal to show for it on the power play. And now with 15 seconds to go in this first period, it looks like the Cougars will be taking a lead to the locker room. Face-off down in front of the Cougars net. Hinterser will send it around to Lejeune. Lejeune can't quite come away with it. Coe will dump it all the way through. Now in the corner, Hinterser has it with 5 seconds to go. And that will be dumped all the way through the neutral zone. And eventually that will be the end of the first period. We have a 1-0 game for the SIUE Cougars after one. Colton, what did you see out there in that first period?
Well, first of all, Nebraska has to play more disciplined. So do the Cougars, in all honesty. Both teams giving up multiple power plays throughout that opening period, something you can't afford going into the second. But for Nebraska, they have had a lot of pressure put on them defensively by this Cougar offense. They've gotten into the offensive zone quite a bit, been able to keep the ball in the the puck, excuse me, in the offensive zone. And the Huskers haven't been able to clear the puck out, and as a result, the Cougars have been able to control the time of possession thus far. Nebraska hasn't gotten a whole lot of offensive opportunities. They're going to need to be able to prevent the Cougars from holding onto the puck for long periods of time and just play stronger defensively to not allow these chances to take place.
Yeah, and as we see here, 1-0 Cougars at the first intermission. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll have second period hockey when we come back. You're watching Husker Hockey on Nebraska News Service. And welcome back on in here to the John Breslow Ice Center as we are just about set to get going here for our second period of action between the Nebraska Cornhuskers and the SIU Cougars. I'm Ethan McChin alongside Colton Alder. Colton, what do you expect to see out there here in the second period?
Yeah, second period, I expect this Husker team to be aggressive right out of the bat. Over the first period of the opening game between these two teams, they scored 2 goals. Ever since, they have not been able to get on the scoreboard. And I think controlling the puck is going to be a huge thing for them. They're going to have to put a lot of pressure on this defense to try and get down the ice quickly and as many opportunities as you can get offensively in this second period. You got to go for them.
And we have had the first puck drop here in the second period as we are underway, and immediately the Huskers are under attack, but they're able to get it out of the defensive zone, and they'll start the other way with Kobe Butts giving chase, eventually picked up by Schmelzer. Now working around towards the inside is Kazier Lucas trying to come away with it, and eventually it'll be Jack Dolly of the Cougars trying to get out of the defensive zone, can't quite, but the second opportunity from Hinterser will get it loose. Immediately, though, dumping it in deep is the Huskers and Kazier Lucas, but they'll pick up an icing, and we will have an offensive zone faceoff here for the SIU Cougars, who currently lead 1-0.
And thus far, the Cougars have the advantage in terms of shots on goal, 11-9. They've put more pressure on Liam Scott. I don't think that shots on goal total fully reflects how much control the Cougars have had over this game thus far, just continuously having the puck in their offensive end.
Hinterser trying to find Dolly. Can't quite get it done. It's a little bit of miscommunication, but eventually they'll dump it back in. That one was rolling across the glass for a second, and now it is picked up. Jammed against the boards by a couple of Huskers. Eventually coming loose. And a huge hit there alongside the boards. It was number 25, Christian Lyles, laying the hit, and I can't quite tell who that is down there. It's going to be Seibel, the Husker captain, down there on the far side, laying injured. And our second injury of the night. We're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout as the trainers come out here. You're watching Husker Hockey on Nebraska News Service. And we are just about set to be back underway here. Just over a minute into the second period, we had a stoppage for a quick injury to the Husker captain, Caleb Seibel, and it resulted in a 5-minute major for Cougar forward Christian Lyles, and a great opportunity on a 5-minute power play for the Huskers to potentially even this one up and maybe even take the lead. And immediately off the faceoff, Shanahan working it in. That one's rebounded in front. And eventually Fitzgerald's able to get the freeze on it and force a face-off to his left.
And after the whistle there, Jack Dolly shoved Henry Sabanski. Not sure what that was all about. And for the Huskers, I mean, seeing your captain go down, I have to imagine they're going to be playing this game with a little bit more fire for him.
Trying to clear it through was Cook. He couldn't quite do it, and it stays in the offensive zone for the Huskers. Shanahan trying to work the offense. He falls down, and this time the clear will be successful as the Cougars will send it all the way down and force the Husker offense to reset. Now behind the net is Matthew Leslie as he comes out with a head of steam, looking ahead for Clover. Clover trying to get the zone entry. He'll dump it deep into the corner. Dolly will pick it up. Dolly looking to get it right back out. He'll find Verhar, and Verhar will clear once again. Great defense there on the penalty kill from the Cougars. Immediately coming back the other way is going to be Leslie and the Huskers once again. Leslie will come to the near side. This time he'll dump to the far corner. Dolly will pick it up and fire it. It goes off of the upper body of Christian Clover and deflects into the Husker bench for a stoppage, and both teams will make a full line change. The Cougars are now, with a man in the penalty box, down to only 6 players on their bench, 10 total. That are 10 total skaters right now for the Cougars, so definitely a little short-handed for these next 4 minutes. As that face-off immediately goes to the goaltender Fitzgerald, and he'll cover once again. You'll expect him to cover very often, try to get as many breaks for his skaters as possible. And that one we dropped. Schmelzer wins it back to Coe. Caleb Coe setting up the offense from the low angle. He'll get it right back now. Couldn't quite make a clean pass, and a hit is going to be laid. Eventually, Schmelzer comes away with the loose puck. Schmelzer trying to work the offense. He'll shoot. That one deflected out in front and eventually cleared by the Cougars. A big clear there as Scott will intercept it for the Huskers, and Paulson will pick it up behind the net, trying to set up the offense. It'll eventually Coe wrapping around, and he'll get the head of steam going the other way. Caleb Coe past the red line, past the blue line, and into the zone, but a great job picking up that loose puck by Brock Barrows and immediately dumping it back down. Now another opportunity coming in here for the Cougars, or for the Huskers, excuse me. It's Paulson. He'll dump it in deep. He takes a hit. Lazari will lay a hit down on Barrows, and it's Lazari and Barrows tied up trying to find that puck against the boards. A couple of Huskers will come in to help. It's Paulson and Schmelzer comes away with it. Schmelzer now circling back behind the face-off circle, looking for an option here. He'll drop it up to Leslie. Leslie down low. Paulson looking for Butts, couldn't quite make the connection. Now he gives it away to Schmelzer. Schmelzer wraps all the way up to the point. He'll switch with Leslie. Schmelzer working in all the way across the ice. Now has gone Schmelzer, and he'll go back to the top for Leslie. Leslie will shoot that one off the back of the boards. Eventually the rebound is settled down and cleared by the Cougars, and they'll all hustle off for a far change here. And immediately going the other way is going to be the Huskers and Schmelzer. Schmelzer looked for a pass, didn't see something he liked. He'll jump back to Leslie. Leslie now working in. He falls over, and the hand is up. Hinterser will be heading to the box here, and this is a critical 2-minute penalty as there's still 2:07 left on the major from Christian Lyles, and now Hinterser will be in the box as well, and it will be 2 minutes of 5-on-3 action for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, trailing 1-0.
Yeah, both penalties expire pretty much at the exact same time for the Cougars, which puts Nebraska in a spot where you're going to have this full uninterrupted time to try and get this power play on the 5-on-3. Best opportunity of the game for the Huskers thus far. Need to take advantage of it.
5-on-3, and the Cougars still win that face-off. Able to keep it in, though, is Leslie. Leslie dumps it down to Clover. Now back to Leslie. Leslie to Clover. Clover will shoot. The glove save made by Dalton Fitzgerald. You know, with this 5-on-3 coming here for the Huskers, you really expect a goal with the 2-man advantage, especially a full 2 minutes.
Yeah, and if you don't convert here, that's pretty demoralizing as a team, as this is your best chance of the game thus far, and just need to get it across, preferably early.
Leslie to Shanahan. Shanahan now will shoot low side, and the save will be made by the pad of Dalton Fitzgerald, and we'll have a face-off to the left of Fitzgerald with 1:37 remaining on the 5-on-3. And that face-off will be won by the Huskers. Leslie to Clover, back to Leslie. Leslie working in, he'll give to Clover. Clover, his shot is going to be stuffed in the lane. Now Leslie will fake the shot, go down to Shanahan. Save is going to be made, and that won't be swung all the way around by Dolly for a clear. Chasing after it is Leslie. Coming the other way, it's going to be Leslie and the Huskers trying to set up the 5-on-3 offense. Matt Leslie back to Shanahan. Shanahan to Clover. Trying to find his man, can't quite do it, and now SIUE Dolly is working in 1-on-3. Eventually he'll slam on the brakes and just dump it in, as there's under a minute to go on both penalties here, and the Huskers attempting to get a goal with the two-man advantage. Great job there by Jack Dolly to break up the pass and work it against the boards. Now Verhar has it for the Cougars. He tries to clear it. Shanahan keeps it in the zone though. Shanahan slap shot low. That one deflected out in front, and somehow Cook's able to clear it, and it gets out of the zone as well. So now reset here for the Huskers. They'll tag up, and Leslie will bring it in. Gives it back to Clover. Quick change here. Clover shoots. That one gets by but can't find the net. And coming out is Liam Scott. He'll immediately try to get it in. And now a breakaway 5-on-3. Dolly, he'll shoot. That one goes by but just wide. Dolly will dump it again, and with just 10 seconds left in the 5-on-3 and 15 left on the power play, it looks like the Cougars are going to kill this. Coming in one last time are the Huskers. Here comes Hinterser to the bench. Working across is Lazari. And there goes the last second of both power plays. Both teams are now at full strength. That one shot in wide. Butts has it. He is going to dump it in deep. Under the goal now working is Lazari. Cook trying to come away with that puck. And eventually Barrows giving chase. Coming away with it is the Huskers. They'll shoot it in again, and another save made by Fitzgerald. Now Lazari has it. He tries to set something up with Paulson. That pass will be intercepted, but now Coe picks one up. Coe will shoot, and the save is made once again by Dalton Fitzgerald. He has been absolutely dialed in at the start of this second period.
Yeah, just a ridiculous defensive effort from the Cougars right there. Huskers at a 5-on-3 for the full 2 minutes, and they just couldn't get a good shot off. And then that time Fitzgerald just with a really good save in net, combined good defense and good goaltending, and it's very difficult for an offense to get any goals on the board. And Nebraska is still left scoreless at about the halfway mark of this game.
And now immediately going the other way is going to be Christian Lyles. He just served 5 minutes in the box. He's ready to go. Studeman picks it up, though, for the Huskers. He dumps it down to Cater. Cater giving chase. He can't quite get to it. All the way through, the hit will be laid by Cass. Chavez going to chase after the puck. Lucas will lay a hit on him. Eventually it gets down to Scott. Scott will work it around the boards. Looking for Cater. That one, bouncing puck. Lucas picks it up and drops it towards his stick. Now swinging all the way around the boards and picked up by the Cougars as they're coming the other way. It's going to be Lyles. He can't quite keep possession. Now Ferguson attempt to clear it. The first time he fanned, the second time he got it down. Cater giving chase alongside Lucas. Lucas now has the puck. He works back to Cater in the defensive zone. Cater all the way back to Lucas behind the net. Now he'll work across to his defense partner, Devin Cass. Lucas has it back. Cager Lucas goes off the glass all the way down to the neutral zone. Will be picked up by Hinterser. Lucas trying to go cross ice. He finds his man Betty. Betty will shoot it in. That one off the blocker, picked up by Cater. Cater looking for options. He'll get pressure by Dolly. Cater goes down. Betty comes in for the Huskers. He's trying to find something. Eventually, Dolly will come away with the puck, and he'll just dump it all the way to the far corner. Cougars trying to set up the offense with Lejeune. He'll find Verhar. Verhar's got a 2-on-1. He's looking to center the pass, and Lucas does a great job of getting in the passing lane, breaking that up. Adamski and Sabansky giving chase. Now Betty to Adamski. Adamski trying to find the puck with Verhar against the boards. He'll center that one. Clover and Sabansky in there for the Huskers. Sabansky comes away with it with Jack Dolly all over his back. Puck goes all the way up along the boards. Now Christian Clover of the Huskers is fighting for it with Dolly. Coming in there and breaking it up is the Cougars. Now Leslie will pick it up and send it right back behind the net. Sabansky can't quite keep it clean. Dolly will try to go up high. Del Sante gloves it down to keep it in the zone. Del Sante can't keep possession, though, and going the other way is Ethan Cook. He's looking for Lejeune. That one goes off the boards, and Leslie comes away with it for the Huskers. Leslie cross ice to Clover. Clover at the blue line will dump it in, and that one will be saved up into the netting by Dalton Fitzgerald, and we'll have a face-off and a whistle as both teams will make a change.
Yeah, back to even strength. It's been pretty evenly matched in terms of how much pressure these offenses have put on these respective defenses. In that case, it's Fitzgerald just getting a really good save right there. And now reset with 10:50 to go.
Battle in the face-off circle will be won by the Cougars. Working the other way is Lyles. He gets into a big tie-up with Shanahan. Puck stays going into the offensive zone for the Cougars. Eventually it's cleared out. Ferguson will dump it in deep. Scott cuts it off, and Shanahan will pick it up for the Huskers. Bo Shanahan circling back behind his own net once again as he looks to set up the offense. He'll drop it back, and Caleb Coe coming the other way. Can't quite find the connection to Butts, but Schmelzer chasing after it. Schmelzer will shoot that one loose in front and eventually cleared out by the Cougars. The Cougars defensemen have done a great job all night of clearing loose pucks out in front of Dalton Fitzgerald. Now it'll be Jacob Paulson looking for Schmelzer. Schmelzer will redirect it in deep once again. Giving chase are the Huskers. They got two in there deep on the board. That puck now tied up between Ferguson and Rhines and Schmelzer and Butts, and eventually it comes loose at the point. Chopping at it a couple times with Lucas. He can't quite make clean contact, and then he'll just re-enter that one down low. Butts giving chase. That one's sent high and deep. Giving chase is going to be Merchant, and he'll pick up the icing there, as it will be an offensive zone faceoff for the Huskers. Huskers here have not gotten a goal in over 70 minutes of game time in this series. Scored twice in the first period yesterday. We're not able to score at all today or in the next two periods as well yesterday. Trying to find a way to break through without Rothenberger and Cavedo, two of their better goal scorers. That one dumped to the center. Eventually, Verhar will come away with the Cougars. Cougars got numbers. Verhar, great pass across to Lejeune. Lejeune gets destroyed by Cager Lucas. And now he'll get another chance. Lejeune will shoot. That one can't quite get through. This shot from Rhines doesn't get through as well. Lejeune chasing back towards the puck. He'll dump it down to the corner. Cougars with one of their best offensive opportunities of the period here. Shot and great find of the corner from number 26, the assistant captain, Ethan Cook. And he will have his sixth goal of the season as he picks out that top left corner and snipes it over the blocker of Liam Scott to make it 2-0 Cougars.
And Cook scored one of their two goals last game as well. In that case, just gets an opportunity where he's cutting near the net, gets a good shot on net, and he's just able to sneak it into that top corner. Good shot right there from Cook, and the Cougars building out of this league. Key insurance goal right there.
Now it'll be Betty working in. Studeman trying to get his stick on it. Eventually the Huskers trying to get it off the boards, and Miles Chavez of the SIU Cougars will come away with it. Christian Lyles working the offensive zone. He'll get dumped down by Del Sante, and that one will be sent all the way through. Hinterser tries to get a stick on it, can't quite keep it clean. And it'll be picked up by Jack Dolly. Dolly off the boards, up to Studeman. Studeman looking back in the center for Cater. Cater shoots it. Great job by the Cougars to get a stick in there. Now giving chase is Chavez and Leslie. And Chavez, getting all the way down there, will win the fight and clear off the icing. Leslie has the puck, though, for now, as he tries to get it out of the offensive zone. Studeman can't quite make clean contact. Lejeune will keep the pressure on. He'll shoot. He gets displaced by Zach Del Sante. And now Leslie will set up the offense for the Huskers. Leslie down to Del Sante. Del Sante will shoot from the point a little bit wide. Now Cater has it. He's trying to get something going. That one will be eventually picked up by Coe, redirected in front. Cater, and a great save once again by Dalton Fitzgerald. He has really been on point so far tonight.
Yeah, Fitzgerald, anytime they've asked him to make a play out in net, he has made it. The Cougars went with him instead of Gottschall, who played well in the opener, but Fitzgerald has done a really good job thus far today. And over halfway through this game, still has not allowed the Huskers to get on the scoreboard.
Schmelzer will send it down to Coe, and Coe will shoot, and once again the save will be made by Dalton Fitzgerald. And another face-off to the left of Dalton Fitzgerald, as the Huskers have been peppering him with shots in the second period, and they have not been able to find the back of the net. In fact, it was the Cougars who were able to extend their 1-0 lead to 2 with an Ethan Cook goal just a couple of minutes ago. Coe will shoot once again at the face-off. This time it goes wide. Butts will track it down for the Huskers, and now Shanahan has it. Shanahan trying to set something up here. He has it against the board, sends it in deep. Schmelzer will pick it up, working against Ryan. Schmelzer behind the net. He'll wrap around, trying to go low on Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald slams the door.
I just tried to wrap it around on Fitzgerald, but he's able to get his glove around it and snare that puck for the save. Really good play out in net for Fitzgerald. Feels like we've been saying that a lot thus far today.
And now, once again, the faceoff is won by Adamski. Trying to get it down low is Coe. Shanahan comes away with it now for the Huskers. Coe lays an absolutely brutal hit, and a whistle comes in. Are they going to send him to the box? Potentially. Now we have a little bit of extracurriculars. Don't quite see if they're taking him in. I don't believe they will. I'm not sure what the whistle was for, but I believe we'll stay at 5-on-5. And the face-off once again as we tick under 7 minutes to go in this second period. 2-on-1 coming here for the Cougars. Verhar and Lejeune. Verhar looking to center, and Christian Clover working back will get his stick in the passing lane. And now Sabanski has it on the red line. He'll dump it in deep. This one under the net. Eventually Sabanski lays a hit. Now this one's picked up, and going the other way is going to be the SIUE Cougars. They're trying to set something up here. Goes all the way down to the other end, and we will have a whistle for icing as Cager Lucas picks it up, and we'll head all the way back down for another offensive zone face-off for the Huskers.
It feels like the physicality of this game is just ticking up as it goes along, and we saw that with that hit a couple seconds ago with Coe and Cook near the boards. It's possible that that could tick up even more as this second period goes along, so something to keep in mind.
And another hit there laid by Butts. Puck comes up to Verhar, though. Verhar gives to Barrows. Barrows will shoot. That one goes off a stick of a Husker and up into the netting. And another face-off in the offensive zone now for the Cougars. Verhar was looking up to Barrows, and Barrows, the defenseman for the Cougars, only has one goal on the season, was looking to get number 2 there, but a great defensive play by the Huskers. And now the faceoff will come once again. Eventually, Cager Lucas will come away with it. That one shot in front. Good save there from Liam Scott. And the puck does clear the zone. As working the other way is Jacob Paulson. He's got a lot of red sweaters coming at him. Can't quite keep the puck with him. And the Cougars will work to break out the other way. Barrows works up the far side with space. He'll dump it in, and Cager Lucas will retrieve for the Huskers. Lucas loses an edge as he is pressured by Lyles. Now it will be Paulson giving it away, trying to find another Husker. Can't quite make the connection. Cass will lay a hit on Lyles, and the puck will make its way all the way deep into the Husker zone. Paulson will pick it up once again for the Huskers, trying to set up the offense. He can't quite keep it. Cook dumps it in. Now Cook centering pass for Lejeune. Great opportunity. Save is made. Hinterser dumps it in deep once again, and Lejeune will pick it up for the Cougars. Lejeune to Hinterser. Hinterser works it off the board. Looking for Cook. Cook will look for a centering pass. Lejeune can't quite make it. Lejeune back in front. Verhar now up for Dolly. Dolly will shoot. That one doesn't go. Rebound controlled by Cass. He's trying to get it out of the zone. Can't complete that. Cook will keep it alive. And now Dolly has it. Jack Dolly at the point looking for options. He'll find Cook. Cook will dump it in behind the net. No one there for the Cougars. And Cass has it now for the Huskers. He will finally clear the zone up to Jawan Kim. Kim working the other way for the Huskers. He dumps it in deep and all the way through as Cater will come away with it. Cater and Hinterser looking for the puck. It looks like it's disappeared somewhere. It's ended up on top of the boards. And the whistle will come in as we will have a face-off.
Yeah, a couple good offensive opportunities for the Cougars offensively there. And the shot just high from Dolly. Not able to connect on it. And Huskers have done a good job defensively to keep the Cougars at just 2. Even though they haven't scored, this is still a game and one that they can make a comeback in.
And now working the other way is Rhymes for the Cougars. Leslie will dump that one to his defense partner, Del Sante. Del Sante trying to find center ice, looking for Betty. Betty giving chase. That one ended up in the clothing of Schmelzer, and eventually it came out loose. And giving chase is Ferguson and the Cougars. Ferguson looking for a centering pass. Eventually it will be Christian Lyles coming away with it. Lyles to Chavez. Chavez will shoot. That one goes wide. Leslie has it now. He'll dump all the way up to the blue line where it will be picked up by Jack Betty. Betty to Studeman. The Huskers have numbers, but they can't quite keep the puck with them. And now it's the Cougars with numbers the other way. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Lyles will shoot. That one goes high. That one dumped all the way across. And it will be picked up by the Cougars in their defensive zone with over 3 to go in this second period. Ty Ferguson will dump it all the way in. And it will be caught along the boards by Lejeune. Lejeune gets depossessed. Wraps it all the way around the boards to Hinterser. Hinterser down low. Lejeune looking to dangle through a couple Husker defenders. He'll center it for Hinterser. Hinterser will shoot and Hinterser will score! Connor Hinterser makes it 3-0 Cougars with 2:54 to go in the second period.
That one's an absolutely huge insurance goal for the Cougars. Great feed to Hinterser right in front of the net, and he's able to take full advantage of it, get that puck in there. And hey, after he hadn't had a goal all year, he gets 2 here today. Great game thus far from Hinterser, and the Cougars now building a pretty comfortable margin late in the second.
Yeah, Connor Hinterser, as you mentioned, his first 2 goals, first 2 points, both coming tonight. Only his 4th game played in on the season, and he has really been electric so far tonight for the Cougars. They're looking for their 5th win of the year. Shanahan getting hit along the boards. He's a little slow to get up, but he will get up eventually. Now Sabansky working the other way for the Huskers. Henry Sabansky working it in. He goes all the way behind the net, drops it in front for Clover. Clover can't quite get it past the goaltender in Fitzgerald. Shanahan does a good job in the neutral zone to bat that puck down and get it back into the offensive zone, but the Cougars pick it up, and now Ethan Cook looking to set the offense up with Verhar. Verhar looking back for Cook. Shanahan breaks up that pass. Shanahan to Sabansky. Sabansky trying to set up the offense once again on the entrance. That shot goes off the stick of Hinterser and up into the netting, and both teams will switch as we will have a face-off coming up in the offensive zone for the Huskers.
Yeah, time running out here in this second period for Nebraska. You have to feel like you need a goal before the end of this period to just get you some momentum heading into the locker room for this third intermission. Just need to get something on the board, make this a more manageable deficit for the final 20 minutes of action.
That faceoff is won by Schmelzer out of the offensive zone, though, as Lucas wasn't able to keep it in. Captain Seibel back in the game here for the Huskers, so that's a good sign for the Nebraska fans. And this one's chopped in deep, and Lucas will send it through. Eventually, Ty Ferguson will go deep, trying to clear it. Immediately setting up the offense is Blake Merchant. Merchant working in on the zone entry. He'll shoot. Puck doesn't get through cleanly. Merchant trying to center once again. The shot and the score! Kobe Butts gets it off a redirect, goes off the skate of a Cougar defenseman, and the goal in front for the Huskers. And just like that, they cut the lead down to 2. 8th goal of the season for Kobe Butts and 12th point.
It was the feed from Merchant that sparked that goal, was able to get it down the ice. The puck hit off the skate of a Cougar and then bounced perfectly to Colby Butts, who's just able to get a clean shot at the net, get that one in there. And for the Huskers, that is a huge momentum boost heading into the locker room. Need to hold them for this final minute or so, but getting that one on the board is huge for them.
Yeah, and for Blake Merchant, that assist will be his first point of the season in one of the final matchups of the season, as the Huskers only have the conference tournament and then a road series with Drake left on the schedule. Blake Merchant gets on the scoreboard with his first point. So quick icing there, and we'll head all the way back down to the other end for an offensive zone faceoff for SIUE as they look to strike back, as the Huskers have cut the lead down to just 2. That faceoff eventually is picked up by the Cougars, and Hinterser will look to center. Great job by Leslie getting a stick in that pass. Now going the other way are the Huskers. Leslie trying to get it into the center from the point. Eventually he does, and Sabansky will retrieve. Hinterser now trying to clear it. Del Sante keeps it in deep. Sabansky can't quite get possession there. Del Sante keeps it in once again, though. Now Del Sante will shoot high, and a great glove save from Dalton Fitzgerald, as that one almost floated all the way into the far side corner, but Dalton Fitzgerald throws the glove up at the last second to keep that one out the net.
Yeah, not an easy play from Fitzgerald out in net. Del Sante firing it towards the net, and that one just kind of hung up there. Not an easy play for him to get his glove around on that, but Fitzgerald just covers it up. And his defense looking to hold the Huskers to just 1 before the end of the third.
Now Leslie will shoot once again, and the glove save will be made by Dalton Fitzgerald as he covers up once again. 26 ticks left in this second period. Eventually, face-off will end up all the way down in the Husker defensive zone. Leslie to Paulson. Paulson working the other way into the offensive zone with 10 ticks to go. Can't quite keep possession. Cook will dump it into the neutral. Chance here for Lejeune. Looking for Verhar. Can't quite make the connection. Scott will just dump it behind his net, and the clock will expire on this second period. It is 3-1 Cougars after 2. What did you see out there in that second period, Colton?
Well, for most of the second period, it was controlled by the Cougars. Nebraska had that power play for 5 minutes towards the start of the second period, but after that, the Cougars just controlled the puck for most of the period. They were able to get 2 goals in the net, and they looked fully in control of this game prior to Nebraska getting that goal right before the end of the period. That was huge for them. That changes the feeling of this third period heading in to where, okay, this is a more manageable margin for you offensively in this game. And the fact that it was Merchant and Butts creating that opportunity for him right after Seibel came in the game, you have to feel good about that for Nebraska. But I mean, looking at this third period, you're going to need to continue putting a lot of pressure on this Cougar defense and not allowing them to get clean shots at the goal like we saw for most of that second period. It's going to be a huge final period for Nebraska, looking to win their final home game of the year, and final 20 minutes going to be huge in this one.
Yeah, we will have that final 20 minutes when we come back from this break. You're watching Husker Hockey on Nebraska News Service. welcome back on into the John Breslow Ice Hockey Center as we are just about set for our third period of action here between the SIU Cougars and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We're ready for a great third period. I'm Ethan McToon alongside Colton Alder. Colton, what do you expect to see out there in the third?
Yeah, third period, Nebraska got on the scoreboard right before the end of the second. That could give them a little bit of extra momentum heading into the third, but they're going to need to take advantage of that quickly. You can't afford to let too much time run down before you get a lot of good chances at the net, because if it gets to that point, this Cougar team is going to focus on their defense and just keeping the puck away from you, and you have to get those goals before that takes place, because if you have minimal chances like that, you're probably not going to come back in this game. But this defense is also going to need to step up. So playing it safe as well going to be huge for them. You can't afford to give this Cougar team any extra insurance. They're already up 2 in this one. Gets up to 3. That's not a spot where the Huskers want to be in.
And it will be the Schmelzer and Butts and Seibel line out there to open for the Huskers in this final period. It was the line that was able to come away with the first goal on the Kobe Butts goal late in that second period to make it 3-1, as the Huskers are going to need to claw 2 more back at least to force an extra period here this afternoon. There is Jack Dolly laying a big hit on Kobe Butts. Butts now has it behind the Cougar bench. Looking to get the offense set up here. He'll go to Seibel. Seibel can't quite keep possession of it as he goes down in a heap over in the corner. And now that puck will go all the way to the other side of the zone. Caleb Coe trying to keep it in deep. Eventually, it'll be picked up, and going the other way is Lejeune. Lejeune trying to find Verhar. Can't quite make a clean connection. And on the way back, Lejeune couldn't get it either. Schmelzer trying to clear it and couldn't do it. Barrows will dump it in deep. Now Seibel trying to keep it in, and once again at the point, the Cougars are able to keep it in. And now that one's dumped to the other side. Schmelzer will give chase for the Huskers. Schmelzer pressurizing Ty Ferguson. And the puck comes loose now. Christian Clover picks it up. He dumps it back in. Sabansky giving chase after Ryan. And now it'll be sent through. Devin Cass will pick it up. Cass getting pressure from behind. He'll dump it off the half wall, looking for Cager Lucas. Puck loose in front. Eventually it'll be shot onto the net, and Liam Scott will go ahead and make the save and cover it up for our first whistle of this second period. Just under 2 minutes in. Still 3-1 Cougars.
The theme we've seen throughout this game is the Huskers having a hard time clearing the puck out of their defensive end. This Cougar team has just been relentless in their efforts offensively to keep the puck in that end, and that's contributed to their success thus far today.
And there's another quick shot off the faceoff from the Cougars, and the save will be made, though, once again by the left leg of Liam Scott. He'll cover it up, and we'll reset in the same circle. It'll be Ethan Cook in the faceoff circle. That one's sent down towards the corner. Verhar will dump it behind the net, where it'll be picked up by Adamski. Steven Adamski trying to get it loose. Cook will intercept, though. Now puck loose in front. Lejeune will shoot. Verhar will shoot 2-0, and they couldn't get it past Liam Scott. That one stuck behind the net. Lucas now giving chase. Great dump in front from Cook to Lejeune, but Lejeune couldn't find it. Dolly now looking for Lejeune. It gets all the way through, and eventually it'll be Cager Lucas coming up with it for the Huskers. He'll work it across the half wall to his defensive partner Cass, and now back to Lucas. That puck gets stuck up on the ice. Turnover. Verhar has it. Verhar backhand does not go. Now a slap shot blocked by Adamski. He'll feel that one tomorrow, as eventually it comes from Lejeune. Adamski will pick it up. Huskers still trying to get out of the defensive zone. Kept in at the point by Hinterser. Now Verhar giving chase to Cass. At the point, it does get out this time by Dolly. Dolly will just send it in deep, and he'll head off for a change once again. So it briefly got out of the defensive zone, but it's right back in there for the Huskers. That pass not successful. Puck loose in front of the net. Cavs will come away with it, though, for the Huskers. He's looking for Lazari, and they finally get it out. Lazari will dump it up to Jawan Kim, and Kim will get it down into the Cougar zone with Paulson giving chase. Jacob Paulson trying to find something. Eventually that puck clears all the way loose. Now giving chase is Christian Lyles. Lyles goes down alongside the Husker Jawan Kim. No whistle, and we're going the other way with Josh Lazari and Jacob Paulson. Del Sante will now pick up the puck with his hand. He'll dump it all the way in, and the bouncing puck will be saved by Dalton Fitzgerald, and we'll have our first cover-up by the SIUE goalie.
Yeah, Fitzgerald just staying attentive right there, getting that glove on it. These defensemen for this Cougar team have played exceptional all game, not allowing the Huskers to get a lot of clean opportunities offensively and not allowing them to get the puck out of their own net, out of their own side defensively. And as a result, they've held the Huskers to just one.
And that one shot short side on Dalton Fitzgerald. He's able to get the blocker down and cover it up. So another face-off to the right of Fitzgerald coming up here with Joseph Studerman in the face-off circle for the Huskers. Studerman wins it back to Del Sante. Del Sante couldn't quite keep it in the zone, though. Now Leslie looking for Del Sante. Del Sante trying to find the puck. He does. He'll dump it all the way through deep into the defensive zone for the Cougars. Slamming on the brakes and turning around is Connor Hinterser. Hinterser now off the boards. That one will angle all the way in towards Liam Scott. Scott will pick it up with his stick and dump it back for the Huskers, trying to go the other way. Connor Hinterser comes away with it. Going down is Verhar, and a whistle comes and a penalty on the Huskers. It will be number 51, Jack Betty, heading into the penalty box for the Huskers, and a golden opportunity on the power play for an insurance goal here for the SIUE Cougars.
And that was Betty who got the start today, getting called for that penalty, and now 2-minute power play for the Cougars. That puts the Huskers at 13:39 when they get back to even strength. Time running out to come back in this game for Nebraska. Gonna need to get some good opportunities quickly.
And now a face-off tied up between the Huskers and the Cougars, but eventually SIUE comes away with it. Dolly will shoot from the point. That one doesn't get through cleanly. Lejeune back to Dolly. Dolly's got it on his stick. He'll dump it down for Cook. Now Verhar and Cook working behind the net. They'll get it back up top to Lejeune, now to Dolly. Dolly will shoot off a stick and up into the netting. It was Kobe Butts that got the stick in the way of that shot with 1:36 left. Now Hinterser getting into it with the Huskers, Caleb Coe. Referees will go ahead and break that up, and we'll be just about ready for action once again.
These two teams have kind of been going at it all game, all last game as well. And third period, these teams have already seen each other for over 100 minutes, not even including the OT and shootout last game. So there's going to be tensions building a little bit if you see a team that much in such a short span.
Now Dolly fakes a shot. He'll go down to Verhar. Verhar back to Dolly. Dolly at the point. Jack Dolly trying to find an angle here. He'll shoot. That goes off the ankles of Steven Adamski and then out of the offensive zone for the Cougars. They'll have to reset with Verhar. He'll get back in on the zone entry. Dumps it back in front to Cook. Cook now working away from a couple of Huskers. He'll give it over to Lejeune. Lejeune to Dolly. Dolly down to Cook. Cook going short side on Scott, and he's able to make the save right in the chest on the Husker script with 57 seconds to go on the Jack Betty power play. It will be another face-off.
Yeah, Cook just getting a shot near the net right there, but right into the chest of Liam Scott. He's able to cover it up quickly. Some solid goaltending from Scott early on in this third.
Now it will be picked up by Hinterser. Dumped in front, and a great clear there for the Huskers as they're trying to kill out the last 50 seconds of this power play. It will now be Dolly picking it up, circling behind his own net as he looks to start off the offense on the power play. Dolly avoiding butts in open ice, and he'll give it away to Verhar. Verhar now looking for Lejeune and Cook. Cook able to keep it in for now, but he loses his skate, and Schmelzer will get it out of the offensive zone. Lejeune gets it back, though, and he'll work all the way back in on the re-entry with less than 20 to go on the power play. Lejeune will shoot. Save made by Scott. Verhar comes away with it. Barrows now giving it away. Barrows gets it back, though. Brock Barrows for the Cougars circling in. He'll give down to Verhar. Below the net, Verhar to Barrows. Barrows will work back as Young will shoot. Or excuse me, that's not Young, that's Rhines. And the save will be made by Liam Scott. And the Huskers will now be back at full strength with 13:33 to go in the final period.
That's a huge penalty kill for Nebraska. Gets you a little bit of momentum with this Cougar team, unable to take advantage of the extra man. Now back at even strength. Have to imagine they might try and be more aggressive over these next couple minutes.
That one sent all the way back down in the zone by the Cougars. Now Del Sante has it. He'll work it for Sabanski, but that one didn't have enough on it. It's intercepted. Eventually, though, Huskers able to get it back. Clover has it now along the boards. Couldn't quite get the pass off cleanly the first time. Trying to reset the offense here are the Huskers. Now Clover will try to dump it in. Lyles got in the way. He got bodied off the puck, though. And Del Sante will give it up to Sobanski. Sobanski can't quite come away with it cleanly. Puck still loose, now picked up by Clover. Clover dancing in front of the red line. Going through a lot of red sweaters trying to get his way into the offensive zone. Now Leslie will swat it in deeper. Sabanski trying to apply pressure. That one will get out of the zone, though, all the way down to the other end, where we will have an icing whistle with 12:38 to go in the final period.
And this Cougar team all throughout this game has been so good at getting the puck out of their defensive end, getting it cleared out, whether it be on a penalty kill or, in that case, even strength. Just really solid defense all throughout this game for the Cougars.
And that faceoff will be won back to Del Sante. Del Sante will shoot his shot. Can't get through the traffic, though. Jawan Kim trying to dump it in deep, and it will be flipped up, cleared by the Cougars. That one will head all the way down. They'll wave the icing off. Lazari comes away with it now for the Huskers. And now Del Sante working past the red line. He'll dump it in deep. Del Sante will give chase all the way down. Dolly trying to get it around. Paulson reading it well. Lazari with the shot. Good chance there. Save is made. Jawan Kim up against the boards trying to figure it out. He'll send one towards the net. Just goes wide, though, and the Cougars will set up the offense with Jack Dolly. Dolly looking for Lejeune. Lejeune will slap it in deep into the zone. Jawan Kim trying to get it around. Hinterser can't quite get that done. And eventually Jacob Paulson comes away with it. Now it will be Bo Shanahan firing it in. And Schmelzer working along the boards with Jawan Kim. Shanahan trying to make the play, jumping up, can't quite do it. Hit is laid by Caleb Coe, and the puck is loose. Now the Cougars will pick it back up with their defenseman, Connor Hinterser, looking for Lejeune. Kobe Butts comes away with it now for the Huskers. He gets depossessed. Lejeune and Coe getting tangled up. Butts to Schmelzer. Schmelzer will try to spin around and dump it back in, looking for Coe. Coe centering pass for Butts, can't quite keep it going towards the net, and now Verhar trying to get going the other way. Great job by Bo Shanahan to break that up. Big hit laid by Coe, and both hands are up as we will have a penalty coming for Husker number 5, Caleb Coe. A huge penalty as Huskers trail by 2 with 10:52 to go in the final period.
You just can't afford to have that right there. Coe getting a little bit too aggressive on that hit on Hinterser, and that sends him to the box. And even less time now of even strength for the Huskers in this third period. Felt like they had to get at least one across early in this period to feel confident down the stretch, but it's still a 2-goal game and a prime opportunity for the Cougars to add on to that.
Yeah, a tough call there for Coe. Gets called going low on Hinterser. And now another power play opportunity for the Cougars. Huskers immediately win that face-off and clear it out towards the Cougar defensive zone. Dolly will retrieve, and he'll send it in for SIUE. Now Verhar in the center of the ice. Gets broken up by Merchant and Lucas. Dolly at the point. He'll send it down. Lejeune trying to spin and shoot. Can't get that one through cleanly, and a great clear there once again by the Huskers. Fitzgerald will settle it down and drop it behind the net, where it will be picked up by Jack Dolly. Dolly to Cook. Ethan Cook now, the assistant captain, trying to set it up. He'll clear, cross in. Dolly will get it for a second. He'll drop it back towards Cook. Schmelzer trying to get in the way. Now Cook has it working in. He'll try to center. Great job there by Butts to get in the passing lane. He'll shoot it all the way down, and Fitzgerald will stop it. Send it back up to Dolly. Schmelzer providing pressure. Dolly able to avoid him and send it down to Ethan Cook. Ethan Cook in the offensive zone now once again for the Cougars. Now Dolly has it at the point. He'll just dump it down behind the net, where a couple of red jerseys will meet it. Dolly now gets it back though. He's circling right in front of the net, now goes behind. Dolly centering pass, great one-time chance save made though for the Huskers. Verhar drops it to Rhines. Rhines down to Cook. Cook back to Dolly. Dolly will shoot. That one doesn't get through cleanly. Cager Lucas giving chase. Now Verhar has it. Verhar will turn and shoot. Cook has it. Great job by the defenseman of the Huskers. That was number 84, Blake Merchant, not allowing that shot on the open net. Now another chance, Verhar. That puck is still loose in front. 2 sticks are on the ground as well, as it's Rhines trying to circle back towards the net. Rhines looking for the center. Merchant breaks that up as well. And the Huskers still keeping that away from their goaltender, Liam Scott. Now a shot from the point. Once again, they get in the way. The defensive blocks all series long from these Huskers have been really impressive. Jack Dolly will now dump it deep once again, and the penalty has expired as the Huskers down by 2, looking to find a way back into this one. Adamski will send it in deep and chase. Steven Adamski's puck will be covered up by Dalton Fitzgerald and will be an offensive zone faceoff for the Cornhuskers.
Just ridiculous defense from Nebraska right there. Merchant not allowing that shot towards the net, just blocking the puck off with his skate. That's a great play on his part. And then Schmelzer blocking that one-timer from the outside after the power play had ended. Just great defense for Nebraska.
That one centered by Del Sante. Cougars come away with it. It is Christian Lyles. Lyles dumps it behind the net, where Liam Scott will pick it up and send it around the boards. Sabanski now has it for the Huskers. Sabanski looking for Seibel, doesn't get through cleanly, and eventually it was picked up by Brock Barrows and sent deep. We will have a whistle, and it will be an icing coming here. Not sure. It will be, and it will be a face-off in the offensive zone for the Huskers. Adamski in the face-off circle for the Huskers. He wins it back to Leslie. Leslie dumps it off the boards, and now Adamski has it, drops it back towards Seibel. Seibel fighting for it, comes up with Leslie. Leslie will shoot it in. Hinterser breaks that up. Hinterser now trying to go off the boards to Chavez. Sabanski gets it back down deep for Adamski in the corner. Adamski trying to go short side, can't get it through. Leslie lays a big hit along the near side boards, and eventually it's picked up by Del Sante. Now Sabanski will send it in deep into the corner. Del Sante lays a hit. Adamski coming through hard. 4 Huskers on the near side. Del Sante trying to get it, keep it in the zone. It clears out. Leslie will just dump it in deep and go for a quick change. Hinterser now up towards Cook. Cook can't quite keep it clean. Eventually, though, the Cougars are able to give chase with Verhar. And now Coe has it for the Huskers. Coe slings it all the way around the boards and out of the defensive zone. Immediately back in, but it's picked up by Coe once again. Coe dumps it ahead looking for Cater. Cater can't quite make a play on it. It's dumped towards the center where Bo Shanahan will pick it up. Shanahan working into the offensive zone. Shanahan centering pass broken up by the Cougars. Now a hand up. This is delayed penalty on the Huskers once again. Coe will get it up, get possession, and that will be a whistle coming as the Huskers will head into the penalty box. Once again, it's Bo Shanahan in the third power play of this third period. With only 6:24 left, the Huskers still trailing by 2.
That's just a brutal break for Nebraska. It didn't even look like Shanahan was looking for a hit there. Him and Dolly just got tangled up. And as a result, that cuts it down to just 4:24 of even strength time. This defense going to need to kill yet another penalty in the third. Bad time for those penalties to start resurfacing for Nebraska.
And the face-off is won by the Huskers, though, as they'll look to try to kill their third penalty of this period. Ferguson going to give chase for the Cougars. Ty Ferguson trying to set up the offense with Kobe Butts in his face. He'll work all the way through. Now it will be picked up by Rhines. Rhines shoots it through the traffic, but he can't get it all the way in. Rhines will pick it up again now. Rhines trying to weave through a lot of Huskers. Can't get all the way through, and it's Schmelzer clearing it down now. Kobe Butts on a breakaway. Butts with a chance here, short-handed. He'll go low side, and the blocker save is made by the goaltender, Dalton Fitzgerald of the Cougars. A great opportunity, short-handed there for Kobe Butts, but he just can't quite make it happen.
And in addition to that, a penalty against the Cougars as that's Frank Rhines heading to the penalty box. That puts it at even strength for the next 122. Husker power play for the next 38 after that. Even though that was a good opportunity for Butts to try and cut this lead to 1, the Huskers will have plenty more as now 4-on-4 offense going to be more in order over this next stretch.
Yeah, and that penalty's a huge chance now for the Huskers in 4-on-4 to potentially get a goal here, as they're going to need 2 before the end of this one. Leslie comes away with it now for the Huskers. They're trying to set up their 4-on-4 offense. Schmelzer has it now. He's working it up to Adamski. Adamski didn't quite see it, and Hinterser will pick it up for the Cougars. He goes off the boards towards the center of the ice where Leslie will meet it. Matt Leslie working in, he'll shoot. Save made by Fitzgerald. Second opportunity, and the glove save once again made by Dalton Fitzgerald. He's been all over, and now Hinterser is getting tied up down there with Christian Clover. Stripes will go ahead and step in, break that one up as we continue 4-on-4 play. Didn't quite like how aggressive Leslie came in there on his goaltender.
Yeah, he was trying to go at Leslie. Clover kind of stood in the middle of that. Tensions rising late in this one. Leslie going in hard for the goal right there, and Hinterser just not happy about it. This Husker team's going to need to continue that aggression, but can't go too far.
And now the faceoff comes to Leslie. Leslie dumping it down with Sobanski and Seibel down there. They can't quite come away with it, as along the boards is Ethan Cook of the Cougars. Cook will go across the ice, but it's picked up by Kobe Butts. Butts will shoot, and the glove save is made once again by Dalton Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald covering it up. That might be by design in a sense to try and give this defense a little bit more rest, as this 4-on-4 will turn to a power play in just a few seconds.
30 seconds left on the 4-on-4, and then it will be about 30 more seconds of a power play for the Huskers. Seibel shoots it in. That one can't get all the way through. Sabanski will now chase into the corner, where Kobe Butts comes up with it. He looks for Seibel. Seibel goes off the blocker. LeJoyne putting his body on the line there. Seibel has it at the point. He'll dump it in for Sabanski. Sabanski's body gets in the way of that clearing attempt. And now Sabanski will shoot. That one goes low. Rebound chance for Del Sante, but a great job breaking up by the Cougars. Now coming out of the box is Shanahan, and a power play coming here for the Huskers. Shanahan is going to get called for a high sticking here, so there will be a whistle coming with 28 seconds to go in this power play. 4:13 to go in the final period. Offensive zone face-off for the Cougars. One right onto the goaltender, Liam Scott, and he'll have to cover once again.
Scott just covering up there. Huskers want to get this puck out of their own end. Just 25 seconds left on the power play. You need to get it down the ice quickly to get a good opportunity while you still have this advantage. Time running out to try and get things going.
And now that face-off will be won by the Huskers, and Shanahan working in. The penalty, the clock's not moving. Now it will move. A little bit of clock operator error there. We saw that last night as well. And now that one's dumped in deep. Schmelzer will come away with it. He's got it back now. Schmelzer turns and shoots, and the block is made by Hinterser. Penalty coming to an end here. Leslie will give it away. Schmelzer down, looking for Clover, and now Leslie as the penalty has expired. Shanahan will turn and shoot. That one loose in front and eventually covered up, and now a couple of players will come together as the cover-up is made by Fitzgerald once again as we take under 4 minutes to go in this final period.
Yeah, that puck was loose near the net. It almost snuck in between the pads of Dalton Fitzgerald, but he's able to get around on it and cover it up before it can sneak through. Great play out in net from him. That's something that we have seen a lot thus far today. Going to be difficult to find a way to crack the code and get that puck in the net, considering how well he's been playing so far.
Now crashing in off the face-off is Butts. Leslie will try to dump it in deep, and it will go up into the netting. So we'll have another whistle and another face-off. Coming up here. Seibel as well in the box for the Huskers. Face-off comes. It's won away by the Huskers. Butts has it. He's looking for a shot. Can't quite get it through clear. Now Verhar and Lejeune coming in for a 2-on-1, but Seibel able to work back beautifully and get his stick in the passing lane. From the point, Dolly will rip, and that one's saved away by Scott. Now Sabanski trying to get the puck loose at the point. It will be dumped down, and Ryans will throw it all the way through. Eventually, it will be picked up by Del Sante trying to work in. Knocked down by Verhar. Verhar trying to find his way through. Eventually, Seibel comes up with the puck. He's looking for Butts, and he'll find him. Butts trying to go cross ice to Sabanski. Sabanski will just dump it deep into the zone as Butts will give chase, but Dolly will get there first. Dolly will go up off the glass, and it'll be picked up by Coe. Coe will shoot that one through. Now it's behind the net as Coe gives chase on Rhines. Coe trying to find the puck. Eventually it will be picked up by the Cougars. Shanahan, though, able to dump it back in, and now Dolly's got it with plenty of ice in front of him. Jack Dolly behind the net waiting for Clover to pick a side, and he goes opposite. Now he'll dump it right back off the glass. Bo Shanahan will pick it up, and Lyles gets a stick on it, but it comes down for Shanahan. Shanahan tries to dump it loose. Now Coe has it. Clover will shoot it all the way in. Fitzgerald gets his body in front of that one. Shanahan has it back in the neutral zone now. Shanahan spinning away from a defender. Shanahan loses the puck now. Coe comes up with it. Working the other way, Studeman looking for Clover. Can't quite complete that connection. Clover lays a big hit in center ice, and Barrows will dump it in deep. Paulson now has it. Paulson will dump it down for Lazari. Lazari looking for Schmelzer. Up against the ice here. And now it will be picked up, sent off the glass, goes off the back of Ryan Lejeune. Lejeune will dump it down to Verhar. Verhar looking for Lejeune. Now he'll try to skate against a couple of Husker defenders. Sabansky lays that's Kaiser Lucas laying the hit. And now it will be Christian Clover working through the neutral zone for the Huskers with 60 seconds to go in this one. That one passed behind the net. Big hit by Clover. Lazari will dump it through. And now Merchant trying to keep it in the offensive zone for the Huskers. Behind the net, Huskers trying to go fast. Seibel will shoot one. Doesn't go. The net is empty for the Huskers. Kobe Butts trying to dump it in deep. Shot on the empty net, and it goes in. And that will be a goal for the the SIU Cougars. And it's 4-1. That will be the dagger as the Cougars are going to hold the Huskers to no wins this season in the Breslau.
Yeah, an unfortunate break for the Huskers right there. This Cougar team just playing great defensively in that sequence, even with the extra attacker for the Huskers, and then just getting a slim margin right there. They get a shot off, and they're able to hit it from beyond the blue line and ice this game.
Now Shanahan will shoot that one deep. It goes off the back of Studeman. He didn't quite know where the puck was. Stays in the offensive zone for the Cougars with 15 seconds to go. It will be Leslie entering in through the blue line. Leslie keeps it in the offensive zone. Studeman gives it back towards the center of the ice. That will be dumped right onto the Nebraska end as the whistle blows. And that is the end of this one. A 4-1 victory for the SIU Cougars. And another tough defeat at home for this men's D3 Nebraska Cornhuskers club hockey team.
Yeah, this game was controlled by the Cougars. Last night's game was more even in terms of total possession of the puck. But this game, the Cougars had full control defensively. Their defensemen played great all afternoon as they just didn't allow the Huskers to get really any opportunities offensively, didn't allow them to get the puck out of their own defensive end. And that control, as well as some good play in net from Dalton Fitzgerald, was a big reason why this Cougar team ended up getting the win in the second game and sealing off the sweep here in this two-game set.
Yeah, tough break there for the Huskers as they were unable to come away with that one. You know, they're looking to get their first home win of the season as it's their final home series for the D3 team. They go down 4-1 in this one. We're so close last night, coming up short in the shootout. They're going to go ahead and shake hands after a good, hard-fought series. And it was really a tough one there. Huskers had lots of opportunities, especially in that second and third period. But it was great goaltender play from Dalton Fitzgerald to hold the Huskers to only one goal in this one. And some great defensemen flying in front for SIUE all game long. And after a tough series here for the Huskers, it will go ahead and go in the loss column once again. Any final thoughts out there, Colton?
I mean, the way this team played, they showed a lot of fight, even with their record this season, even with the Cougars getting off to a lead early. This team for Nebraska continued to keep strong. They didn't let up even for a minute, and they may not have gotten the win today, but there's a lot to be proud of in terms of the effort that this team showed here.
Yeah, a lot of effort showed for the Huskers, but evidently they were not able to come away with the victory. That's going to be all we have for you here. Huskers drop this one 4-1. You're watching Husker Hockey on Nebraska News Service.